So my first question is kind of just like basic, like how long have you guys known each other? Where did the idea for this movie come from?
Who should start?
Ivan, you want to start? Our recollection of how we met is very different.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. Well, he has his own recollection. I have my own recollection. We met in acting class like I don't know how long ago, like a really long time ago. And apparently from his recollection, well, from my recollection, I just came up to him and I'm like, "Oh shit, an Asian guy. Hey, I want to be friends because I don't have a lot of friends back then." Or now, who knows? And I said, "Hey, I kind of recognize you. I really love your work." And his the thing that I saw him on was Shameless, and his that was like his first guest star, and he was having sex behind the bleachers with Cameron Monaghan, and apparently that freaked him out.
Well, so to add on that, so yeah, we met in acting class. The first words out of Ivan's mouth was, "Hey, I saw you on Shameless," and with like no context or anything. So it was very forward, very like, "Oh wow, nice to meet you." But yeah, we've known each other for like over 10 years, 10 years, I don't know, long time. And we have always just kind of been in the same circle, just like through acting and whatnot. And we kind of lost touch after the class, and we saw each other in an audition like 5 years ago, reconnected, and then randomly, like I work in film marketing, so I worked on this movie called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey,
Yeah.
and I needed help on it, and so I asked Ivan if he had any interest, and Ivan's super funny and smart, and I was like, Ivan would be the perfect person to embody the character of Winnie the Pooh. That's kind of like a killer, Winnie. And we had so much fun doing it that we were like, wait, like, are we funny? Can we make a movie? So we were high one day eating Thai food, and we were like, what if we made a movie about people making a podcast about making a podcast? And we kind of spitballed off of that, and then it kind of became the idea it is now. But yeah, like it was also like during the time of the strikes impending, like and it was like coming off of COVID, so things were a little slower. So we were like, well, why not just make a movie? So yeah.
We actually finished our movie like 2 days before the strike happened, the writer strike happened. So
Oh,
like
wow.
we kind of like it kind of did a really good thing. We kind of finished right on time. And then we supported, writer strike, SAG strike, blah 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 blah. But uh Harrison really skipped through a lot of shit. Um
Probably.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, we got reconnected after I got kicked out of my acting class because I was so terrible at acting because that was my first acting class. And then he didn't talk to me for a really long time. And then he kept asking me like, "Hey, you want to get lunch? You want to get lunch?" And I finally said, "Yeah." And then like we just started hanging out right after that. And the rest is history. And yeah, we just got stoned and we decided to make a movie, and we're kind of the type of people that, like, when we say we're gonna do something, we
Mhm.
actually do it. And no one was backing down, like, "Are you gonna do it? Or we're gonna do it, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're
Yeah,
gonna do
like
it."
in that session, we were like, we're gonna make a movie. Like, if we're committing to this, we're going to make it. And within a month, we had a finished script. And then within 3 weeks of that, we had started shooting the movie. So basically, like 2 months after we had that high brainstorm, we had already finished shooting the movie. So pretty insane.
And you shot it in 5 days, right? Is
Yeah.
that what I read?
5 days. Yeah.
15 days.
So what was the pre-production like if you only had a 2-month timeline between inception and creation, were you guys just working around the clock like to plan
We were
everything?
doing like 6 a.m. till 3 a.m. in the morning. Like, we're just kind of crazy workaholics, and we just are very obsessive. At least I'm talking about myself. I don't want to speak about to Harrison because he's on this call right now too. So if there's
Yeah,
any
there wasn't much sleep those 2 months. We just kept egging each other on, and this movie initially was like, let's just shoot it with our friend as the DP, and like we'll just finish it over a weekend. And it kind of became bigger and bigger and bigger, and then we got like Hudson Yang, and then we had like the budget increase because we needed better, like more cameras because we cross shot it, and um we got more crew, and it just kind of snowballed into something way bigger than we thought, which is great for the movie's sake, terrible for our wallets, but
Oh,
it was
gosh.
it was a lot of fun. We don't regret anything.
Well, I don't regret anything now that we got into the festival. That's amazing. Yes.
So the title pokes fun about your dynamic, and it's nice to see that your dynamic is very fun still outside of the movie. What excites you guys about working together in terms of like collaboration?
You?
You.
Okay, well, the exciting thing is we're our own bosses. So like being able to fully express ourselves and do what we actually want to do without feeling insecure, feeling like we have to have some like the thing that I really really gravitated towards is like we can really go all the way. We can actually like fail on our on fall on our face, and like the only people that can we can blame is us. So we were able to take bigger risks. We were able to express feelings, and if it was too much, I mean, it was on me, on us. So I think that's probably what I liked, and I think that was a question you asked.
Well, yeah, and also just building off of that, like kind of similar to what we had mentioned, like I feel like in this industry, there's a lot of people that have a lot of ideas and want to do things but never follow through. And I feel like with Ivan, like we were like, we're actually going to do this. So like everything that, we do, like we hold ourselves accountable. I feel like, we make a really good team in that way. And we're also very different people, as you probably saw from the movie and you probably can tell now. Like I'm very like type A, very like, like I work also in like film marketing, and like I love Excel spreadsheets, and like I won't speak. You could describe yourself. I don't want to describe you for you.
Well, I think I am also type A, but just a different type A than you. And I've never used Excel before, so that was really frustrating for Harrison. I've never had a corporate job before, and that apparently there is a way to talk to people corporately. And I learned a lot of things from yet Harrison's what's that word? Yelling? Uh,
Yelling?
okay, not yelling. I just don't know the word, so I'm just saying the first word that came to my mind. Um, yeah, and I guess I don't know. Like both of us are working actors. We've been working for a really long time, and just being able to just make our own opportunity and story without, waiting for someone else. It was just super appealing.
Mhm. And how was any of it improvised? Because it did feel very natural, but if also you only had 5 days, improvising on a 5 day shoot feels like insanity.
Yeah. So, yes, actually, we had a scriptment in place, where we didn't have like a full-fledged typical script. We had basically every beat of the scene almost laid out and where we wanted it to start and end. And within the lines, we basically improvised the majority of the dialogue. So how we're able to do that was we cross-shot everything on two cameras, so we were able to edit it better and easier. Our editor hated us because,
Our editor
we,
did not hate us. He
yeah,
loves us.
he loves us and hates us at the same time. He loves us now. But we would do like, 8-minute takes of certain scenes. And we would do it like maybe 4 or 5 times. So if you gave it to three different editors, you probably have three different cuts. Like we could probably recut this movie like 10 different ways and you'd have a different experience each time, which could probably be like a fun project in the future, maybe. But yeah, like after we had seen all the footage, we were able to then use what we had to craft the story and then like go back and see like, oh wait, like if that take didn't work, like there's more takes with different dialogue. So yeah, to answer your original question, like the majority of it was improvised, but with structure. It wasn't like we had gone in and just kind of, and we did kind of wing it, but we also didn't wing it in a way.
There was extreme structure, Harrison. Extreme structure. So we did. What the heck? And correction, our editor never hated us. He's loved us this whole entire time. Correction, maybe he just loved me, but I can't speak about Harrison, and that's it.
So the film has, I don't even know how many layers, maybe 4 or 5 different layers in terms of characters and meta plots, and it's all very fun and tongue in cheek. But so I have a two-part question. Was there ever a more restrained version of the story of two friends saying goodbye to each other? And if you had like an unlimited budget, was there a wilder version that you would have liked to do?
Um, I'll kind of answer your first question. I always knew the levels of meta that we wanted to do, but throughout the shoot and still to this day, Ivan doesn't understand what we did.
I hate meta. I
So
really
like
don't understand meta.
yeah, so like the whole whiteboard scene's like pretty accurate, I feel like with Ivan's understanding of what was going on. But then like I feel like the more we got into it, the more confused I was getting. And I feel like like the meta-ness of the movie, like the more you think about it, the more confused you actually get. Um, so yeah, like I think it made sense, but also like I second guess it every time. So hopefully to the viewer and hopefully to you it kind of made sense. Um, I mean, Ivan, you let me know what you think, but
Hey, Tina, let me tell you, like we had a cut of Harrison actually explaining the meta, like the whole entire meta thing. And uh at the end of it, our editor said, "Huh?" And because it made sense for like them, but for me, I didn't. So he decided to make a montage of just me being like, "Huh?" And that was what the final thing happened.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
a very fun meta to me, like especially with how it's kind of proliferated pop culture now, it can be too much and overwhelming. So I kind of did like that this was overwhelming, but like in a way that kind of poked fun at how overwhelming it was. So I wouldn't say that I could tell you every single character's name now, but I
sure.
enjoyed the ride.
Yeah. I mean, if we had an unlimited budget, I feel like it'd be really fun if you just went deeper and deeper and deeper and you just got even more meta and like it just got more ridiculous each time. Like because at the very end, like we pull out and then you have like the old men. It's
Mhm.
like you can pull out again and they're like someone else. I don't know. Like I feel like you could just go completely bananas with it. But
This was
yeah.
completely self-funded. So like this was basically a cost basically like a nice big down payment on a nice house in Ohio or Pittsburgh. So like I in my head I can't even fathom more of a budget because I just don't know how much more I could afford. But if it was, we would be adding a ton more shit.
Yeah, I mean, actually, we have like the funny story about the celebrity cameo, like because it's our first time making a movie. We're like, you know what, we could use the first time filmmaker card. Like, why not?
Yeah.
We were emailing people like Seth Rogen, Brad Pitt, like we had Dick Van Dyke, like
Oh yeah, I
the
emailed Dick
most
Van Dyke and
random
said, "Hey,
people.
we saw you
Uh,
on Masked Singer. I really want you on it." And Dick Van Dyke's manager just came back and like, sorry, I don't think Dick is interested.
so I mean, like budget wise, yeah, like they're like I feel like we could have went pretty crazy with just like different celebrity cameos showing up at the door, but like we obviously didn't have the budget for that. But yeah.
So I want to
But we're
talk about
extremely happy of who we have. Like we're
Yeah, Hudson's
extremely
great.
Hudson's great.
Harrison.
The film is it's still kind of rare to see a movie about two guys talking about their feelings. So what do you think it is about like the meta stoner bro genre that kind of gave you an inroad as far as like the more emotional parts of the story?
I think guys don't usually like talking about their feelings, but because we have it in a lens of like, oh, we're filming a movie, like, we're supposed to talk about it. Like it's just like a safer way to like say what was hidden like inside of us or inside our characters. Uh and yeah, I think because of that it was just easier to just blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
It's like I don't know, I feel like dudes can sometimes be a little like passive aggressive and petty and like when they want to tell someone something, like go through a friend, for example, and it's like playing telephone through a friend, but it's like our way of doing that through characters. It's like I'm not saying it, it's like my character is saying it. And it's like if it didn't feel good or I felt uncomfortable, it's like, oh, I didn't mean that. It was my character. So it's like an easy cop out and like it doesn't feel as vulnerable, I feel like, when you're like, oh, like I have a easy way out. And I feel like um that's yeah, that's like what we explore in our characters. And I feel like if we had more time and more budget, like we could have even taken that one step further into our characters talking about certain things too. Like we could have had so many discussions about so many different things that guys don't talk about. But um yeah, I think we're, yeah, with what we did talk about, I think generally like that's stuff that, guys are pretty uncomfortable with.
Specifically Asian American like guys. So I think that'd be like, it's just kind of cool.
Yeah. We got two more questions for you guys, if that's okay. I know we're going.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm
Yeah,
having
yeah.
fun.
Okay, cool. So your world premiere is coming up in a couple weeks. What are you most excited about in terms of seeing it with an audience, a real live audience?
I mean, I think for me, like comedies are always way more fun in a theater because, laughter is contagious. And I feel like as filmmakers, you think you know what's funny, and then there's always like certain things people laugh at. You're like, oh, like I didn't know that would be what would hit with audiences. So I think that's what's exciting for me.
I just can't wait to see the audience reactions because I am excited but extremely terrified of like what they think. This is like personally my first thing that I've ever made. So like just putting myself out there and not as a outstanding actor type of way, but now hopefully a good filmmaker. A filmmaker is just really really scary, and I'm looking forward for all the food at Sonoma.
Yeah, Sonoma's great. Are you guys gonna do more film festivals, or have you submitted to more? It's
We
Yeah.
exciting.
have, yeah,
Hopefully, some on the East Coast.
I would
Yeah.
love that. Please
Yeah,
come.
we'd love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're excited about for this festival run too, is neither of us have done the festival route before,
Mhm.
festival path before. And um I think it's just a fun excuse to like go to different cities and,
Yeah.
meet people, try food. And yeah, I just feel like this year, like hopefully it'll be an excuse to just like travel around the US and the world and see, yeah, all
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah, I barely leave my room, so like to be able to have an excuse to go somewhere, like like it's really awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, sadly, like I don't have Harrison here anymore too. He's
Mhm.
in Vancouver now. So uh it's so sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah. So my last question, as somebody who also left LA, Harrison, I have to ask, what do you miss the most from the city?
Oh, easy. Mexican food. Okay, so I went to this restaurant called hopefully this doesn't ever come out and like how dare he say that about our food.
I'll
But
bleep it.
my friends are like, "Oh, like this is the best Mexican food. It's so great." And I went like 2 days ago and I was like, this is not Mexican food. Like this is not like I want Mexican food that's like from a stand, cash only. Like I want my stomach to hurt a little the next day. But yeah, it just wasn't it. So I don't think I'm gonna ever eat Mexican food in Vancouver again. I just need to get it when I get back in
Please
LA.
redact that. Please redact that. Don't put someone's name. Why would you say someone's restaurant's name on an interview, Harrison?
Great. It's great. I love it.
Stop saying its name. And I'm from San Diego, so like I don't feel the same sentiment. Like San Diego Mexican food is just outstanding. So I mean LA is pretty good, but well actually maybe redact that too. I love just Mexican food.
All right. Well, that's all my questions. Thank you guys for your time. The movie is very sweet and very lovely. I had a blast. And I
Thank you.
hope you guys are coming to the East Coast so I can see it in a theater.
We would
Yeah.
love that.
Definitely keep you posted and we'll send you an invite when we do.
Yeah, yeah, please do.
Okay, okay. Thank
All
you for
right.
talking to us, Tina.
Thank you for talking to me.
Yeah.
Have fun in Sonoma.
Well,
Thank
sorry
you.